After the state of Kansas took away Dr. J.R. Brinkley's license to practice medicine in 1930, he ran for governor of Kansas and almost won. This is Tim Rencher, the history guy for CJ Online, talking about Brinkley, who is better known as Doc. Brinkley was born in 1885 in North Carolina and attended a medical school but didn't finish. He then worked as a physician after buying a certificate from a diploma mill. Brinkley, shown here in one of several photos provided by the Kansas State Historical Society, sought in particular to cure sexual impotence and make aging men fertile again by transplanting the testicular glands of goats to their private parts. He gained considerable positive publicity when one of his patients became the father of a baby boy, whom he named Billy. In the 1920s, Brinkley began operating a radio station out of Milford near Junction City. The station featured musical entertainment and appearances by Brinkley. During one program, he answered questions from the public, often responding by prescribing medicines that could only be filled at pharmacies where Brinkley had contracts to sell them. Meanwhile, Brinkley treated patients who traveled from across the nation to receive his goat gland operations. He became a millionaire. Though critics in the medical community denounced him as a charlatan and a quack, Brinkley became wildly popular with his radio listeners who saw him as a maverick little guy who was up against the establishment. Then, in 1930, the state of Kansas revoked his license to practice medicine. Brinkley responded by conducting a write-in campaign to run for governor as an independent candidate, apparently in an effort to get his medical license back. He flew throughout the state, appearing at rallies to promote his candidacy. Brinkley got almost 30% of the vote for governor during the 1930 general election, nearly as much as Republican Frank Hawk and Democrat Harry Woodring. But Woodring won. Some historians think Brinkley lost only because the state's attorney general had ruled that votes for him wouldn't count unless they gave his name properly as J.R. Brinkley. Many ballots were not counted because they didn't give his name properly. Brinkley ran again for governor in 1932 when the Topeka Daily Capital published this cartoon showing Republican Alf Landon riding an elephant, Democrat Harry Woodring riding a donkey, and Brinkley riding a goat. Brinkley lost to Landon that year. Meanwhile, Brinkley was rocked by medical lawsuits and saw his broadcasting license revoked. He moved to Del Rio, Texas, and built a powerful radio transmitter just across the border in Mexico that the U.S. government couldn't regulate. Still, Brinkley was bankrupt by the time he died of a heart attack at age 56 in 1942. This is Tim Rencher, the history guy for CJ Online.